Good Sunday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we are going to be talking about a potential winter storm that could be rolling on through by the time we head into Thanksgiving. And so we will really need to be watching those areas in the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, Upper Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, and New England closely, as you guys all are looking to see at least some snowfall by the time we head near and around Thanksgiving. So we will be watching that storm system closely. Plus, we also have a massive Arctic blast that looks to be rolling on through during the same time, but it looks to be more significant as that cold air is just going to continue to surge on in even as we head into December. So we definitely should get out our winter gear and all that stuff as things really start to get quite cold out there. This is kind of going to feel like January, as temperatures will actually kind of be lower than usual. So we will let you guys know about all that stuff, so make sure to stay tuned till the end, as we will continue to keep you guys up to date on what to expect. But also don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and click that notification bell down below, so that way you guys don't miss out on any other weather updates on Weather with Sim. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down below. You guys can leave anything down below as long as it's respectful, and I will get to those right after today's weather forecast. But let's first go ahead and take a look at what we can expect. And this is going to be our next storm system to watch closely for, and this is pretty much right on Thanksgiving, right around the midnight hours. And as you guys can see, about on Thanksgiving morning, we'll have a storm system potentially ongoing, bringing some rain, a little bit of snowfall mix, especially on the extreme northern side of that. And we're actually using a different model this time. We're using the European model this time, just to see if it has any different ideas compared to the GFS model, and it kind of looks like it does, as it does show this shaped a little bit differently. And as that continues to move towards the east, the European model continues to show this, bringing some heavy snowfall as that cold air starts to surge on down, and that's why parts of that rain are starting to turn into heavy snowfall. And as that happens, we might even see some isolated thunderstorms developing far down to the south, and that's mainly due because this cold air, as it surges on in, will kind of collide with this warm air farther down to the south, and that's why we'll see those chances for isolated thunderstorms across the south and southeast by the time we head into Thanksgiving. So make sure to be watching out for those if you do live across that area. And this storm is going to continue to bring that with some pretty heavy snowfall on the northern side of that, with once again maybe some chances for some isolated thunderstorms farther down to the south by the time we head into the later part of Thanksgiving. So once again, we are going to really want to watch this closely, as things could once again really start to ramp up by the time we head into Thanksgiving, with that potential for heavy snowstorm, maybe even a winter storm at the most by the time we head into Thanksgiving, with maybe some rainfall and isolated thunderstorms far down to the south. So we will try to keep an eye on that very closely. And then after that, another storm system that we might need to watch for, which probably wouldn't necessarily be considered one, but I just like to call it that because this is going to kind of be a little bit interesting by the time we head into December, because not only will we be dealing with that cold air continuing to surge on in, and you guys can kind of see that blue line right there. Look how far that cold air will dip as we head into December 5th, and at the same time, we'll have, these little snow showers coming up here to the north and kind of diving down like this towards the lower Ohio Valley, which is going to be, like I said, quite a weird pattern by the time we head into December. And of course, will be very interesting compared to what we have been seeing. So, we'll keep an eye on it closely. Even though we think this could be something as we head into December, some things could change. And of course, when we looked at what we could see on Thanksgiving, that kind kind of did look a little bit different compared to what we've seen last time, which was a few days ago. But, we definitely, like I said, will need to watch this closely, as, chances for snowfall will definitely be there on Thanksgiving and even into December, but some changes with it could be possible. So I would probably say, take this snowstorm right here with a grain of salt, as we aren't totally sure how it's going to shape up. But like I said, we will continue to watch it very closely. And then same goes on December 8th, maybe even another storm system developing on December 8th, as once again, that's going to kind of bring a lot of that snow shower activity into the Ohio Valley. This is probably even more uncertain, so like I said, make sure to take this with a grain of salt in December, because we aren't really sure exactly how the first 2 weeks of December will play out. But once again, though, it is going to be possible that we could maybe see a big, winter storm or two develop in December, but like I said, it kind of still remains uncertain, so continue to take this with a grain of salt. Let's now go ahead and look at the 6 to 10 day outlooks on the Climate Prediction Center, which mainly looks to be after Thanksgiving on November 29th through December 3rd, and as you guys can see, we will likely see some big surges of cold air, like I said, by the time we head into Thanksgiving and even into December, with especially this area looking to see that highest chance of below average temperatures. And this is one of the highest chances of below average temperatures I've seen this fall so far, guys. 'Cause like I said, this is gonna be a massive surge of cold air that's gonna be rolling on down, and that's kind of gonna push that warm air a little bit far down to the south towards Arizona. But like I said, though, we're mainly focusing on the eastern United States, as well below average temperatures are expected as we head into the end of November and the beginning of December. So really be watching this very closely. And with precipitation, we are expecting quite a bit of the United States to potentially be dry. The only areas that might see some, showers, maybe a little bit of isolated thunderstorm activity, is down here towards Texas, where it will be a little bit warmer, because we're only talking near normal to maybe slightly below average temperatures. Same up here, probably won't really be seeing, a ton, but we could maybe see a little bit of snowfall once again as we head into December. So, at least this pattern does, calm down a little bit, because, we have been focusing on a lot during the last few weeks. So, thankfully we do get a break for quite a bit of the United States, especially the western and central United States. But like I said, though, some, snow, maybe a little bit of rain and thunderstorm activity could be possible down here in Texas, while some snowfall could also be possible up here in parts of the northern United States. And then as that cold air continues to surge on in, look how low those temperatures are going to get by the time we get into December 3rd, okay? We are talking potentially negatives for the lows on December 3rd, guys. This isn't going to be the highs. These are going to be the lows on the morning hours on December 3rd, and we're just going to be, seeing a lot of that cold air surging on down. Look at that. We're talking teens across the Ohio Valley. We're talking teens across New England, even some of the East Coast. We're even seeing those 30s go as far down south as, Alabama and Georgia and even Mississippi, with, even mid to upper 30s continuing down there into Florida, guys. This is, probably going to be quite historic for how, much cold air is going to be surging on down, because when you're talking well into the negatives, this is actually quite unusual for this time of year, guys. This is something more common during the month of January, which it definitely will feel like January by the time we head into December 3rd. So, it obviously isn't unusual for the winter, but like I said, it is very unusual for this time of year to really be seeing those negatives, those teens, those 20s ramp up across a lot of the United States. Now, there will probably be, some changes, in as we head into December. But like I said, this is kind of what's expected as we first head into December. So, we'll definitely keep an eye on it for you very closely. Now, let's look at the total rainfall, and as you guys can see with the European model, it really does want to show quite a bit of the eastern United States, for precipitation. It's especially going to be south of this line where we see more of that rain, and north of this line where we see kind of a rain and snow mix. So, we'll definitely watch that very closely. We even see a little bit of rainfall for parts there of the west coast continuing from, the remains of that bomb cyclone that rolled on through during the last few days. So we are going to be watching the west coast still a little closely for, like I said, those that bomb cyclone still has a little bit of rain and snow with it, so we'll continue to watch that closely. And then with the total snowfall, I wish I could look at this with the European model, but the European model actually doesn't have the total snowfall with it, which I thought it did, because it was able to look at where that snow and rain was gonna line up across this area. But this is the GFS model, which may look a little bit different than what we looked at with the European model, but it is still pretty similar, as it does show a lot of snowfall out there to the west, especially in the higher elevations, with quite a bit of snowfall there in New England. Look at that, we're talking potentially up there towards 2 feet in the highest elevation there in New England. We also could even see a lot of snowfall across the Great Lakes, upper Midwest, maybe even an inch or two in the Ohio Valley. So like I said, we will really need to be watching it closely. But, the only thing that does remain uncertain is, when this cold air is going to make it on down. Because if it doesn't make it down during the same time that we are tracking that storm system near Thanksgiving, then that could, be more of a rainfall event. Or, even that track of that low shifts farther down to the south. And if it does, then that could bring, maybe a little bit of snowfall farther down to the south across those areas, but only if that low, like I said, goes farther down to the south, because, as of right now, we're expecting that low to kind of track like this, with snowfall up here across those areas as it continues ahead to the northeast. But like I said, though, if it's a little bit far down to the south on Thanksgiving, then that could bring, rainfall, farther down south, and that could even bring that snowfall far to the north. But that's only if that cold air surges far down south enough. So like I said, we'll keep an eye on it closely, but it still remains very uncertain. So like I said, make sure to take this with a grain of salt still, as things are still looking to change. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy today's weather forecast. If you guys would like to stay tuned for more weather updates on Weather with Sim, make sure to go down below and click that subscribe button, as we will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest. Also, we did get up to 700 subscribers a couple days ago, and those new upgrades that I did to my channel is, one, selling merchandise, which I did put on my community post. So if you guys would like to see that, make sure to go to my latest community post and click the link on there to go look at my merchandise, which is actually on tpublic.com. I just have my store on there, which that link will take you right to my store on there. So if you guys would like to buy some merchandise, make sure to go there. As I am starting to even sell some happy holiday shirts. Plus, I also did make a little bit of changes to my thumbnail by adding some snow and even some rain to it, just to, show you guys where we expect rain and even some snowfall, and that is pretty cool. So, like I said, make sure to subscribe for all that, as, I am going to try to think about even some more upgrades. So, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up too as well. Those help out more than you know, and of course, they really help out the channel a lot, so make sure to like if you haven't already. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down below. You guys can leave anything down below, as long as it's respectful, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Oop.